Our life is the result of our actions in the past, and I dread to imagine the future consequences because of our inaction today. Because of our past actions, we have already seen a rise in the average surface temperature by about 0.8 degrees centigrade since industrialization. Dr. James Hansen et al. Studied that because of climate inertia, there is another 2 degrees centigrade temperature rise in the pipeline that we have already committed to because of our current emissions. In 2001, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change predicted by the end of the century, global temperatures would have risen between 1.4 and 6.4 degrees. Natural geography beautifully explains the impacts of these predicted temperature rise.
If the world warms by 1 degree, the Arctic is ice-free for half the year, opening the legendary Northwest Passage for ships. Tens of thousands of homes around the Bay of Bengal are flooding. Hurricanes begin hitting the South Atlantic. Severe droughts in the western U.S. cause shortages in global grain and meat markets. If the world warms by 2 degrees, some changes to the biosphere are no longer gradual. Greenland's glaciers are disappearing. So much ice has melted, polar bears struggle to survive. New forests take root in Canada's melting tundra. The Pacific islands of Tuvalu are lost beneath the rising tides of global warming. This could be our world plus 2 degrees. If the world warms by 4 degrees, oceans rise, overtaking heavily populated deltas, home to 1 billion people. Bangladesh washed away. Egypt inundated. Venice submerged. Glaciers disappear, shutting off the flow of fresh water to billions more. The entire West Antarctic ice sheet could collapse, sending sea levels rising even further. This could be our world plus 4 degrees. If the planet is ever 4 degrees warmer, one of its great rivers will be self-destructing at both ends, from a high mountain glacier to the Indian Ocean. Locals call it Mother Ganges, the holiest river in India, perhaps in all the world. Himalayan rivers are the wellspring of life for over 1 billion people in China, Nepal, and India. Climate scientists predict India could be one of the countries where the impact of global warming takes its greatest toll. Unless we begin to slow global warming, in fewer than 4 decades, the Ganges could be a river fighting for its very life. If the world warms 5 degrees, Los Angeles, Cairo, Lima, Bombay are drying out. Climate refugees number in the hundreds of millions. Perhaps most frightening of all is how much we can't know. Traditional social systems would break down. Six degrees of warming has been called the doomsday scenario. Our lives would never be the same again. The best way to survive the catastrophe of a hotter planet is to prevent it from happening in the first place. Failing that, we may be confronting far more difficult choices.